Alright everybody, welcome back to another turn of Operation Outer Space. This will be turn 15 for Italy, July of 1943. I believe we have no housekeeping to address, so let's jump straight into it with the tech. We'll be rolling for LRA hitting on an 8 or higher. That is a hit. So we do start that tech off. On to the purchases, we have 12 to spend, and we're going to be spending it all. We're going to be spending 4 on starting a heavy cruiser for Lend-Lease, and spending 8 on Lend-Leasing a fighter. On to the combat movement, we do have a few to declare. From Western Yugoslavia, we have 3 infantry and 2 mountain infantry annexing Albania. We have a medium bomber from northern Italy flying 1, 2, 3 into Gibraltar and bombing the dockyard there. And we have 2 submarines from M2 coming out into the Atlantic and raiding in A44. I do believe that's going to be it all, so let's go ahead and roll them out. We'll start with the submarine rating. We have even die rolls for the sub versus the defending convoy. That's 3 damage. And we're going to send that damage to the Mediterranean line. And the sub survives. The next sub, 2 damage, and the sub survives. Cool, I'm happy with that. Next we'll roll for the bombing. We have 1d6 of damage and an inherent AAA roll of 3 or less. Fantastic, 5 damage and the plane survives. And that should be all of our rolling. Technically, in our non-combat movement phase, the American subs can fire, but it would be suicidal, so I'm going to assume that they will not without asking. The second fleet in the non-combat movement, first I've got to land my bomber. It's going to land back in northern Italy. Now, onto the non-combat movement phase. The second fleet is going to be moving 1, 2, 3 into M2. Submarine has a chance to fire. And then the 3 infantry from northern Italy are going to be railing to eastern Yugoslavia. And with that, we should be done. We can place our buys and collect our income. We have a base income of 10, plus 2 for keeping the Mediterranean clear of Allied warships. Technically, that could be prevented if the Soviets declared war on the British, which would align the Turks, and the Turkish warship would be in the Mediterranean. So, technically, the Soviets have a chance for a defensive declaration of war for that purpose. Heavy cruiser is being left on stage 1. The fighter will be starting in the factory, railing over to Aquitaine, using that naval facility to get to Mauritania, to Ivory Coast, to Reunion. 1, 2, 3, 1, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. And then from there to Aden, from Aden to Australia, Australia to Indochina, and Indochina to Japan. And we'll be landing in the 18th Air in Honshu. With that, we should have everything in place to pass things along for the next KMT and American turn. So we will leave things there and say best of luck on your next rolls.